Release yourselves from fear by embracing love. October 12, 2014. Waiting is difficult for you. Here in the spiritual realms, where time is not an issue, we do understand this aspect of the illusion, as many of us have had lives as humans. In the spiritual realms, all is always just as it should be, perfect. Within the illusion, more and more of you are opening to the tsunami of love and to the awareness that you are, each and every one of you, on the spiritual path, or, if you prefer, a spiritual mission to assist humanity to awaken and dispel the illusion. To do that, you have to be human. And that means that you are, to a certain extent, in fact to a very large extent indeed, unaware of the absolute brilliance with which the divine entity that each of you is, shines forth, constantly. You were created perfect and you remain perfect for all eternity. But to enter the illusion as humans to assist humans in the awakening process, it was essential that you became like them, lost, confused, and seemingly abandoned in a fearfully threatening and unforgiving world. It is unreal, but it seems wholly real, all that exists, to the vast majority of humans, and death seems like the end, the termination point of a brief, unsatisfying, and pointless life. An unfair and unreasonable experience that gives you no choices of your own that would allow you to alter it to suit your rightful needs and desires. The illusion is your conception, your institution, your dream or nightmare, depending on how you are experiencing and interpreting it. For eons it seemed that it was a given that you had to accept and cope with. But in the last 100 years, modern psychology has begun to show you that you can change your experience by changing your mind about it. You can choose to feel overwhelmed by the situations that seemingly envelop you, and collapse under them, remaining a crushed and helpless victim of circumstances. Or you can choose to accept life as it is presented to you, deal with the situations with which it apparently confronts you, and move forwards. Life is always about this now moment. However, you have managed to lose sight of that, and you focus massively on the past in vain attempts to prevent it from recurring in the future, or to ensure that it does recur in the future. But, there is only the now moment, and everything that affects you, that influences you in any way, happens in this now moment. The other problem for you is that the now moment seems so brief. Could such a brief, ill-considered thought, word, or momentary motion or activity truly cause such an enormously unexpected outcome? The answer is a resounding yes. You do create your own reality by the thoughts, words, and actions with which you engage. Your problem, as humans, is that in the restricted environment that you appear to inhabit, it is very difficult to foresee the possible consequences to which they lead. You collectively chose to build an environment that was severely restrictive, limiting, and uncertain, because you wanted to experience that uncertainty and the confusion that it produced. And now, after eons of pain and suffering, you have collectively decided that enough is enough. Having made that very sensible decision, you have then needed to ascertain the way forwards out of your endless suffering and into a state of lasting peace. How is peace possible? You ask one another as you observe the vast number of conflicts, distrusts, and betrayals that you observe all across the world. Peace is impossible, you declare, because of all those unstable and violent ones who would maintain a constant state of war because it gives them power, control, and wealth. And so you conclude that armies and weapons are an essential form of defense against those misguided ones in order to maintain peace. That is an insane belief, as you know in your hearts, but fear prevents you from acknowledging that one truth that would set you free. As all the channels are repeatedly telling you, love is the only answer to all the problems that you experience. Yes, if you embrace love, it seems to you that you are laying yourselves open to permanent abuse, pain, and suffering by making yourselves insanely vulnerable. But, on the other hand, you know deep within yourselves that love is the answer. What the spiritual channels are doing, and what you light workers, starseeds, and way showers are doing is fearlessly embracing the love field that eternally supports you, and demonstrating by your faith, and by the results that occur in your immediate lives, that this is true. And where people are refusing the love, and refusing to trust, the conflicts, suffering, and betrayals continue endlessly. There are now more than enough of you on earth actively demonstrating love as a way of life, the only way of life, the real way of life, to bring lasting peace to your confused and suffering multitudes. Keep on loving and watch your relationships, personal, societal, business, and international, stabilize, warm, develop, forgive, accept, and become as one. You know it makes sense, and that nothing else does. Remember, you are eternally and infinitely supported by your loving Father, and therefore by all sentient life forms that our Father has created. The only opposition is from a few, a very few, a tiny minority of insane ego-driven souls in human form who can only achieve their aims if you support them. Just stop supporting them. Your only reason for doing so is because you are fearful, believing that you are small, insignificant beings in a vast and threatening universe, and you fall for the egoic blusterings of these few insane and utterly misguided ones who would persuade you that love is weak and that you need their strength, but they have no strength. And to fall for that line of reasoning is also insane. You are all divine beings created from love by God for eternal joy. That state is available to you right now. Wake up and embrace your Father, the divine field of love, the tsunami of love that surrounds and supports you in every moment. Release yourselves from fear by embracing love, and watch with amazement as those few misguided ones who would control you fade away into the unreality of the dissolving illusion. Your loving brother, Jesus. Channeled by John Smallman. johnsmallman2.wordpress.com